The huge Battle of Chaos reveals are here. Don't be like the 33.8% of you guys. I'm not smashing the crap out of that subscribe button. Smash it because I want to get to 101,000. The Rage deck box, very short supply. 25 of these are back in stock. These are the last 25 that will include the limited field center on it. This is a very future gem product, by the way. So get your hands on it while you still can. This is part of the 100K here. Special. All right, so what's going on over here? All of a sudden, out of nowhere tonight, this giant release of info just influxed in the community. MSTTV here showed us that the Dark Magician, that alternate art that so many of us were super excited for, just came out of nowhere. All right, it's being included in the set. By the way, so this is 25th EN001. Which is actually very interesting, because this marks the 25th anniversary for the game. Now, interesting enough that we're not sure if this is like part of the set or what's going on here, but for them to include this out here, I really think that this is going to be part of the set. If not, this is going to be a trend going forward here, that we're going to see some other alternate arts exploring into the game. This was actually huge news here. Now, other things in Battle of Chaos, and I have to sigh because this is going to be a ride. Alright, first of all, Dino, Morphia Domain was confirmed a secret rare. Oh, man. So this is the one that lets you pay half of your life points, lets you dump the materials from the deck to the graveyard. Now, while this deck is already starting off very high rarity here, you actually won't be able to get this deck at its full glory until what I would say would be later on this year when Fusion Destiny comes out, where you get the big Floodgate monster. I'm kind of disappointed that this thing is starting off as a secret rare, but I digress. We'll see how this goes. The other big punch in the face was Thusia also got the secret rare treatment. That's 2 secret rares straight out of the bat thing for Dino Morphia. I granted 2 of the best cards in the deck are now secret rare, but this really kind of makes me sad because I really wanted to like build that masochistic turbo build where you just keep punching yourself in the face and you turbo out these huge boss monsters, Floodgate monsters, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, interesting news with that you're going to be paying out the wazoo for this. Now, Endarina here is also an ultra rare. Now this is actually okay. I'm glad they at least made this an ultra, so she'll be kind of cheap. I mean, most builds are going to play 3 of her to start, and then should probably be playing 2 post fusion. Yeah, the better fusion. Once you get the Floodgate monster, the entire deck just gets so much easier to be streamlined. So that's one little piece of good news out of this. Now, as we continue on here, Sales Ban is a super. Declare 1 card name. For the rest of this turn, your opponent cannot activate cards or the effects of cards with the same original name as the declared card. The same restrictions apply to you, but for the rest of the duel instead of just this turn. I'm really glad they actually cleaned up this card text, alright? I wasn't a super, crazy fan of how they originally worded this in the OCG, but that's fine, alright? Basically, in the OCG, they call, Maxi or something, and it just turns off a potential hand trap or something for the 1 turn, alright? And that's actually, where your real value comes in with this, is it gives you a preventative measure for that 1 whole turn. Alright, now, if you really are trying to explore other options out here, I don't think that, I think this will probably be one of the most expensive secret rares in the set. Moving on along here, the zombie vampire. What in the world are you doing in here? If you use a monsters with a level that is owned by your opponent for the exceed sum of this card, you can treat it as a level 8. Now, neither player can target this card with effects of special summon monsters except those special summoned from the graveyard. Detach material from this card. Each player sends the top 4 cards of their deck to the graveyard. And then, if any monster was sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one of those monsters to your field. You can only use this effect of the zombie vampire once per turn. And this is going to be a very weak point to the set. As much as I want to be optimistic, be yay! I mean, vampires, zombies got something, pretty freaking cool, all kind of wrapped up in a nice little bow here. But for me, I'm not too crazily excited for this. All right, so we move on along here. Guardian Chimera. Oh, the beginning of the doomsday clock is here. This is the first of the unholy trinity monsters that you're going to see storming into the OC or TCG here. You probably look at this card and you're like, oh, this is worthless. 3 monsters with different names, and you have to use something from the hand and field as material. Let me tell you about Brandon in Red, ladies and gentlemen. This will actually be the card that you're going to use to break across your opponent's boards during their turn. And then while you're generating this draw and resource generation out of this. This card is absolutely nuts. And mark my words here, in the future, this will be explored as one of the best branded cards in the future. This card will probably start off very cheap until players kind of realize what's going on with this, but seeing this as a secret rare actually feels kind of nice. I'm super excited for this. And then, the big boy himself. Illusion of Chaos is a secret rare. I feel like if you expected anything less out of this, you were just straight doing it wrong, all right? Honestly, this does not surprise me. I kind of had a feeling that we would be seeing something insane with this, because it doesn't make sense for the best Dark Magician card in all of existence to just not be a secret rare, right? This thing searches pretty much everything in your entire deck, and as a generic searcher also interacts with the whole Magician Souls engine, all right? Literally just this in Magician Souls is a splashable package across every board, all right? Why would you not want to explore that as an option? Like, that's nuts to me, all right? So I am glad to see. I think this and Sales Pitch will probably be the highest grossing cards in the set, because Dark Magician players need this. They made it a secret rare. They knew what their money cash cow would be in this set. So good job on this one, Konami. You definitely kept to our expectations out here. Now, we knew that the sneak peek card was going to be Libromancer Geek Boy. Just reveal a ritual monster from your hand, special summon this card, and if this card is special summon, you can add a Libromancer spell card from your deck to your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Most fashions, we see the sneak peek card wrap up with a nice little bow, end up being a secret rare. So as of this point in time, we are considering Geek Boy to be a secret rare. Alright, now, Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. If you didn't see a Blue Eyes card getting to be secret rare in this set, oh boy, I got bad news for you. Remember, this set is a Blue Eyes Dark Magician set, alright? This set might not be based for the competitive player base. This is your nostalgia set wrapped up in a nice little bow with Konami going, come here Blue Eyes players, come here Dark Magician players. I mean, the support's good, but I feel like Kaiba definitely got the little bit of the raw end of this. The Master of Chaos himself, the big fusion monster, ended up being an ultra rare. I'm actually not too crazy about seeing this as an ultra. I'm glad that it's definitely not a secret rare. Collectors out there will get a win on this one, at least. Besides, you know, you only really need one of these anyways, an extra deck resource. Now, we also got Libromancer First Appearance. Now, this is a field spell. So when this card is activating, add a Libromancer monster from your deck to your hand with a different name than the cards that you control. During your main phase, you can ritual summon one Libromancer ritual monster from your hand by attributing from your hand or field whose total level equal or exceed that monster's level. This is actually interesting. Whatever this archetype ends up doing, this is quite an interesting little gimmick they got here. You get a searcher and you get the ability to ritual summon through your field spell. I feel like they wanted to manage the resources for this archetype very, very, very easily, and I think they did a good job with that. We also got Timaeus, the Legendary Dragon. Once again, our deck's really playing 3 of these. I think most of the builds that I saw that were kind of messing around with Dark Magician were really only 1 of these. So that's not a real big loss in the collection department either. And then Little Magic Haribo actually ended up being a super rare. This is actually some good news out here. Once again, like, granted, like, when not everything ends up being a higher rarity, you get to see, like, more affordable options kind of wrap around here. And that's what I really like to see when it comes to these set releases. A lot of little interesting trinkets and things here. Yeah, Battle of Chaos came out of nowhere this morning. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what more will kind of wrap out of this here. I definitely will talk about expected secret rare value here in the future, but holy moly! Guys, make sure you smash, leave a crap out of that subscribe button so you guys don't miss out on more awesome content. Leave a comment down below what you guys think. I'll see your beautiful faces back here later today with some more cool, awesome content. Stay safe, guys. Patrons, thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. Check out these other videos.